Millionaire caught his housekeeper teaching his daughter to dance. He never guessed her true identity. James Harper had built his life on order. Every decision was carefully planned. Every business deal was perfect. His world ran like a machine. His tech company made millions. His sleek Chicago penthouse was flawless. Even his 10-year-old daughter, Lily, had a strict schedule. She had tutors, lessons, and rules. This system had never failed him. Until today. James was walking through his penthouse one afternoon. The stress of a long meeting still hung over him. Something outside caught his eye. He stopped by the huge windows overlooking the rooftop terrace. What he saw stopped him cold. Lily was dancing. This was strange because Lily had never liked dance. She had never asked for lessons. But there she was, twirling on the terrace. Her arms moved smoothly, like she'd been practicing forever. What shocked James even more was who was with her. Nora Blake, the housekeeper, wasn't just watching. She was teaching Lily. Every step she showed was precise. Every correction was clear. This wasn't just playtime. Nora moved like someone trained. Her balance and grace were perfect. James felt uneasy. He always knew everything that happened in his home. But this? He had no idea. Lily, who usually kept to herself with books, was different now. She was smiling, laughing, full of life. He hadn't seen her like this in years. Not since her mother passed away. And it was because of Nora. Anger stirred inside him. He pushed open the glass doors. His shoes clicked loudly on the terrace. The happy moment shattered. Lily saw him and stopped. Her smile faded, replaced by worry. But Nora didn't flinch. She stood straight, wiping her hands on her apron. She faced James calmly. "What's going on here?" James asked, his voice sharp but controlled. Lily looked down, staying quiet. Nora spoke first, her tone steady. "We're practicing." James's eyes narrowed. "Practicing what?" "Your daughter wants to learn to dance," Nora said plainly. The words hit James hard. He looked at Lily, who wouldn't meet his gaze. "Since when?" he asked. Lily paused, then mumbled, "For a while now." James felt a pang in his chest. She had never told him. She had never mentioned dancing. And yet, she had gone to someone else. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asked her. Lily shrugged, like it wasn't a big deal. Before she could say more, Nora spoke again, because she needed someone to teach her. James's eyes snapped to Nora. Her words felt like a quiet challenge. He didn't like it. "That's not your job," he said, his voice colder. Nora didn't back down. "No, it's not," she agreed. "Then why are you doing it?" She crossed her arms, calm but firm. "Because she asked me to." Silence hung between them. James took a slow breath. Something about this bothered him. He didn't know Nora well. And now she was close to his daughter. That wasn't okay. "I need to speak with you alone," he told Nora. Lily's face fell, her eyes darting between them. Nora stayed calm. "As you wish, Mr. Harper," she said. James turned and headed back inside. He didn't check if she followed. But as he stepped through the doors, he glanced back. Lily leaned toward Nora, whispering something. Nora answered softly, and Lily gave a small smile. James felt a chill. There was something more here. Something he didn't understand, and he didn't like it at all. James sat in his office that night. The penthouse was quiet, but his mind was racing. He couldn't forget what he'd seen. Lily had shared something special with Nora. Someone he barely knew. That didn't sit right with him. His computer screen glowed as he typed. Nora Blake. Her name was simple, normal. But James didn't trust normal. He had built his company by spotting what didn't add up. And Nora didn't add up. The search results loaded. Her records were clean. No arrests. No issues. Just an ordinary woman. But James didn't believe in ordinary. His fingers hovered, then typed something else. Nora Blake dancer. At first, nothing showed up. Then, buried in old articles, he found it. A headline from 9 years ago. Rising dance star disappears from stage. His pulse quickened. He clicked the link. A photo appeared. It was Nora, younger, in a perfect dance pose. She wore a dazzling costume, standing on a grand stage. She wasn't just a dancer. She had been a star. Someone who could have been famous. Then, suddenly, she was gone. No explanation, no drama, just gone. James leaned back in his chair. This didn't make sense. A woman like that shouldn't be cleaning houses. Not his house. And now she was teaching Lily. He stood up. He needed answers. And he was going to get them. Nora was cleaning the kitchen the next morning. She heard footsteps behind her. She didn't need to turn to know it was James. His presence filled the room. She kept wiping the counter. Calm and steady. But then he set his phone down. The screen showed an old article. Her own face looked back at her. Care to explain this? James asked. Nora paused, just for a moment. Not because she was afraid. Because she knew this was coming. She took a slow breath and set the cloth down. She turned to face him. You've been looking into me, she said. James's face didn't change. I don't like secrets in my home. Nora glanced at the article again. Then you should have left this alone, she said. Silence stretched between them. James watched her closely. Are you denying it? He asked. No, she said simply. His arms crossed. You were an amazing dancer. You were about to go worldwide. Then you vanished. Why? Nora didn't answer right away. She had avoided this question for years. But now it was here. Her fingers brushed the counter, steadying her. I was 20. She started. Dance was my whole life. I worked harder than anyone. I pushed myself to be perfect. I thought that was my future. Her voice was calm, but heavy. James stayed quiet, waiting. I wasn't alone, she said. His eyebrows lifted slightly. Who? Sam, she said softly. The name felt heavy. Her shoulders tensed, but she kept going. We danced together since we were kids. We were a team. We got offered a big tour. It was our dream. She paused, the memory pressing against her. But she pushed through. The day before our biggest show, Sam was in a car accident. The words landed hard. James didn't move, but his eyes softened a little. He didn't make it, Nora said. Her breath shook, but her voice stayed steady. After that, I couldn't dance. Music felt like pain. Everything I'd worked for was gone. So I left. I disappeared. The kitchen felt heavier now. Neither of them spoke for a moment. When James finally did, his voice was softer. And now you're teaching my daughter. Nora met his eyes. Because she reminds me of myself back then. Something flickered in James's eyes. It was quick, but Nora saw it. She took a breath. I don't expect you to understand, Mr. Harper. But Lily shines when she dances. She just needed someone to notice. James's jaw tightened. He looked away, like her words hit something deep. He had spent years giving Lily everything. But had he ever really noticed her? Nora didn't say more. She had told the truth. Now it was up to him. James exhaled. I don't like people getting involved with my family. Nora's face stayed steady. And I don't like seeing kids lose their joy. Her words cut deeper than James wanted to admit. His hands clenched, but he didn't argue. Because, deep down, he knew she was right. James hadn't spoken to Nora since that morning. But her words stuck with him. He had learned her past. That should have been enough. But it wasn't. He kept seeing Lily dancing, laughing, moving like she was free. Lily had always been quiet, doing what he asked. But Nora had found something in her. Something James hadn't seen. At dinner, Lily was silent. She pushed her food around her plate. James watched her closely. Her fingers twisted her napkin. She was nervous, holding something back. He had seen this in business meetings. People acted like this when they wanted something big. Finally, Lily looked up. I want to join a dance competition, she said. James froze, setting his fork down slowly. He thought she might keep dancing for fun. But this was serious. He looked at her, searching for doubt. There was none. A dance competition? He repeated. Yes, Lily said, sitting taller. When did you decide this? A while ago, she admitted. James's fingers tapped the table. And you've been practicing with Nora? She nodded. She says I'm ready. There it was, confidence. Not something he had taught her. Something she had found. It unsettled him. He had built her life to be safe, predictable. But now she was choosing her own way. He leaned back, thinking carefully. You know this isn't just fun, he said. Competitions are tough. They take hard work. You might fail. I know, Lily said firmly. And I'm ready. James looked for any sign she wasn't sure. But she was certain. This wasn't a passing idea. She had decided. He could say no, stop her. But what would that do? He had controlled her life for years, thinking it was best. Yet here she was, wanting more. Okay, he said at last. Lily's eyes widened, like she hadn't expected him to agree. Really? He nodded, his face serious. If you're doing this, you do it right. No half effort. You give it everything. Lily's face lit up. Relief, excitement, determination. I will, she said. James didn't say more. He picked up his glass and took a sip. Across the table, Lily's hands shook with excitement. James wasn't used to standing back. But that's where he was now. A spare room in the penthouse was now a dance studio. The wooden floor gleamed under bright lights. Mirrors covered the walls, showing every move. James stood in the corner, arms crossed. He watched Nora and Lily practice. Nora wasn't the gentle teacher he'd seen on the terrace. She was focused, almost strict. Again, she said when Lily missed a step. Her voice was firm, but not harsh. Lily, sweaty and tired, started over. James had thought Nora would be soft. Praise Lily even when she messed up. But Nora didn't. She fixed every mistake. She didn't let Lily slack. Stop overthinking, Nora said when Lily stumbled. You know the moves. Your head's getting in the way. I'm trying, Lily said, breathing hard. Trying's not enough, Nora said. Trust yourself. Just dance. James's arms tightened. Trust. That word hit him. He had taught Lily to plan, to think carefully. But Nora was teaching her something else. And Lily was listening. The practices went on for hours. Days turned into weeks. James kept watching, though he stayed quiet. He saw how Nora taught. She was tough but fair. What surprised him most was Lily. She didn't give up when it was hard. She didn't quit when she failed. She worked harder. She wasn't just following anymore. She was leading herself. James had thought she'd get tired, that she'd give up when it got tough. But she didn't. She got stronger. With every practice, she grew more sure. Less like the quiet girl who needed his approval. More like someone finding her own way. The night before the competition, Lily sat at dinner. She barely touched her food. James noticed her leg bouncing under the table. She was restless, nervous. What's on your mind? He asked. His voice gentle. She hesitated, then spoke. There's another dancer in the competition. Mia Torres. She's won 3 years in a row. James nodded, waiting for more. Lily paused, then admitted. She messaged me. Said I don't have a chance. James let out a slow breath. His fingers tightened around his glass. He knew people like Mia. Not dancers, but rivals in business. They tried to scare others to win. And what do you think? He asked. Lily hesitated. I don't know, she said honestly. James leaned forward, his voice calm but strong. People only try to shake you when they're scared of you. Lily looked up, doubt in her eyes. If Mia's messaging you, it's because she's worried. Lily's posture shifted. The doubt in her face turned to something else. Something sharper. You really think so? She asked. James didn't hesitate. I know so.